Okay guys, listen to this. Crispy. Come on. Hi my radiant starseeds. So today I'm going to be showing you how to make a crispy dosa. Now, you know that I am crazy about Indian food, and that's why I am bringing you a second recipe video on how to make dosas. If you want to know how to make the dosa masala, which is a dosa filled with a very delicious potato filling, you can go ahead and click on the link above. But today I'm going to be showing you how to make a crispy dosa that you could fill with anything that your heart desires. So before we get into the recipe, I just want to let you guys know that our recipe book is almost finished. And for those of you who want a really amazing vegan recipe book on hand, our recipe book will be available shortly. So I'll keep you guys posted on that. For now, let's get into the recipe. So I just want to go over quickly what ingredients we're using. So here I've got some rice. This is white round grain glazed rice, okay? And this is going to be perfect for a crispy dosa. So here I've got some channa masala that is split. So split channa masala here, which are chickpeas. Here I've got some mung dal, which is just split mung beans. And lastly, I've got 4 teaspoons of fenugreek seeds. So making a dosa is not as hard as you think. All we have to do now is place all of these in a clean bowl. And then we're just going to rinse it several times, because you'll notice that a film from the pulses will form after adding water, and you don't want that. So I'm going to show you guys how to clean it. So what we're going to do is just rinse the rice and pulses, and you can see all of this cloudiness here on the surface of the water. We want to get rid of that. So we're going to discard the water using a strainer and repeat this process until all the cloudiness is gone and the water is clean. So after you've thoroughly cleaned your rice and pulses, all you have to do now is add in some filtered water. And you want to add an inch above the level of rice and pulses, about that. So this was the hardest part of the recipe, guys. Now all you have to do is let this sit on the counter for 5 hours. So our rice and pulses have been soaking for 5 hours, and now what we're gonna do is separate the water and take all the contents and place them into a blender. So you don't want to throw this water away, the soaking water, because it's what we're going to use to blend the rice and pulses, and apparently it also helps with fermentation. Okay, so now what we're going to do is take the water, the soaking water, and we want to fill the blender up. Be careful to not overfill it with water, but you just want to fill it to about 1 finger below the rice and pulses. So about 1 finger below the level of the rice and pulses, that's it. So it's time to blend this up. Okay, so now I've got a clean bowl here, and I'm gonna place my batter inside. You can see that it's thick, but it's still at a pourable consistency. And if you feel the texture, it's a little bit grainy, it's not completely smooth, and that's exactly what we want. So what we're gonna do now is cover this up any way you can, and we're gonna let it sit out on the countertop for 8 hours if you're in a warm climate, and 12 hours if your kitchen is cold like mine is. So this is what your batter should look like after 12 hours of fermentation. Wow, it has really fermented. And what I did is, to jumpstart the fermentation process, is that I actually made a little warm bath for my bowl. And I just placed it in another bowl that had some warm water in it, because my kitchen is very, very cold. So now I'm just adding some salt and a little bit of water to thin out the batter. I've got 3 tablespoons here, but I'm just gonna go slowly. So I put in about half, and I'm just gonna give it a little mix. So I feel like my batter needs a little bit more water, so I'm gonna add in the rest. So altogether, I've added in 6 tablespoons of water, and this is the consistency we want. Now, If you've added in a lot of water during the blending process, you're not gonna need to add a lot of water at this stage. So you have to make sure when you're blending the pulses and rice that you're not adding too much water. So I've heated my pan. I'm just gonna add some water to cool down the pan before adding the dosa, before adding the batter. And this is a very important step. You don't want to skip this because it prevents the dosa from burning. So now I'm just gonna wipe it and take our dosa batter, and using a ladle, I'm going to place it in the center and slowly make circular motions, like so. You can see the dosa is starting to dry out, and at this point you want to add some olive oil or vegan butter of your choice. I like adding olive oil, it just makes it nice and crispy. At this point you can see that it's starting to get golden. You just want to release the sides, and you can see that that's easy to do. It's not sticking at all. And now all I'm going to do is fold it over. Oh my God, look at the color on that. That is just absolutely stunning. You can just leave it here to cook a little longer. So I'm just going to scoop it up with my spatula and plate it. And there you go, you can have this with tamarind chutney, coconut chutney, any kind of chutney that you like. It's nice and golden brown. You can see the rings of golden brown there. So let's make another one. Don't forget to splash on the water, wipe it off. So I want this one to be bigger. Place it into the center, and then start working from the center of the dosa in circular motion. Just like that. Traditionally, you would use urad dal for a dosa recipe, but I just used mung beans instead, and I can't tell you, the results are amazing. So I'm just folding it over. You can see how lovely and golden brown that is. That is just perfect. Okay guys, listen to this. Crispy. So I've got some tamarind chutney that I made this morning, and I'm gonna take some dosa and just dip it in. Hear that? Oh my God. But before I dip it, I'm just going to eat it plain. It's so crispy. So good. It's like a crepe. Okay, make sure that you salt your batter very well, okay? Like really well, because you don't want to bland dosa. Even though you might be dipping it into chutneys and all kinds of beautiful tasting things, you still want your dosa to have a little bit of flavor. So now, let's dip it into this tamarind chutney. Oh my God. It's so sour, the tamarind, spicy and sour at the same time. The crunchiness of the dosa, guys, really good. So you can fill this dosa with basically anything you like. For example, you can fill it with mashed bananas, maple syrup, and chocolate chips. Or you can fill it with the masala filling, which I already told you guys. You can click on the link above and that'll take you to how to make a beautiful masala dosa. You can fill it with tofu if you want to make a tofu scramble. You can just eat it like this on its own with some mint chutney, some tamarind chutney, or even some coconut chutney. So there are so many things you can do with this beautiful little dosa right here. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Also, leave a comment down below. Let me know where you're watching from. You know that I love that. And don't forget to subscribe and smash that like button. And we'll see you guys next time for the next recipe. Mwah.